In this video, I'm going to describe the mean and the formula associated with the mean. And then I'm going to show you how to calculate it in two programs, SPSS and Excel. So the mean, as described in the textbook, is a measure of central tendency. And measures of central tendency represent the number around which the values in a group cluster. So that's a definition of a measure of central tendency. And there are three measures of central tendency that are typically observed in research. And the mean is arguably the most popular measure of central tendency. And this is the formula associated with the mean. We have x here, which denotes a case value. And this subscript I represents an individual case, one number. But then we also have this sum symbol here, which is the sum of all the individual cases. And in this example, 11 people self-reported the amount of sleep that they receive or experience every night on average. And there were 11 of those people. And so we need to divide the sum of those 11 sleep values by n, which is the total sample size, which in this case is equal to 11. And so this is what the formula looks like when it's actually got the numbers in it. So you've got one person who self-reported 7 hours, another person said 7, 9, 5, 8, 7, 6, 8, 8, 7, 9. And so we sum those values together, and then we divide that sum by 11, and we get 7.36, which is the mean. The mean is also known as the average. So the average amount of sleep that people self-report based on a sample size of 11 is 7.36, and this value corresponds very closely to the value reported by Kripke in their research study, which had a sample size much larger than 11. So that is the actual answer to the question. And in the textbook, I had the impression that people sleep about 8 hours a night, and I would have thought that was actually what it would have come out as. But it comes out lower than that. It comes out at 7.36. I'm not totally off, but it's a little bit lower than I anticipated. So how to calculate a mean these days? We don't do that by hand anymore. We actually use computer software to do so. I'll show you how to do it in SPSS quickly. So we have a sleep value here, all the sleep values, I should say, in this column, and we have a variable named sleep. And we go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies, and we put the sleep variable in, click on Statistics, and we click on Mean, and Continue, and deselect Display Frequency Tables, because we just want to have the mean. And there we get that 7.36 with a sample size of 11. Now in Excel, it's about as simple to do so. We have case number 1 to 11, and we have their corresponding sleep value, 7. So case 1 reported 7 hours sleep, case 2, 7, case 3, 9 hours, and so on. And to calculate the mean, we can go to Auto Sum and click on Average, and that is a way to get the average. And if you look at the formula here, this is what Excel is actually doing. You could type that in the cell if you wanted to, and you would get the same number. So we get 7.36, and we also get 7.36 in SPSS. We could change the cell properties and get a higher decimal place value to get something similar to Excel, and we get 7.3636, and we get the same thing here as Excel. So that is the mean. On average, people apparently sleep about 7.36 hours. That's what they report sleeping on average, which is lower than my expectation of 8. But I carry on in the textbook to determine whether we need to make this meaningful or not.